What is up, guys? It's J-Rob here with Team Energy Golf Clash, bringing you this awesome wind tutorial. If you haven't already, please subscribe and like to the YouTube channel. It helps motivate me to bring awesome guides just like this to you guys to help better your game. Now let's get into the video. What is up, guys? How is it going? Welcome to my wind adjustment tutorial. Today we'll be discussing how to properly make your wind adjustments. We'll talk about all the various things that affect how your shot will play out, such as wind to ring ratio, different powered balls, knowing and trusting your ball guideline, and the difference in clubs, levels of clubs, and their accuracies, and how that affects your target size and the number or numbers of wind per ring you might possibly have to adjust for any and all of your shots. Let's get to it.
Perfect shot. Eagle.
Alright, so here is a small picture of a little breakdown of the 5 things that we're basically going to focus on here to talk about. Number 1 being the 5 rings that we have. We have to know there's 5 rings. Number 2, that the rings are cut in half by our ball guideline from right to left side, depending on which way angled your wind is coming. Number 3, the different wind for different balls. Different powered balls give you different wind. So your opponent might be using a different ball than you, though the game gives you the same wind. Though he might be using a different powered ball, it's actually going to give him a different wind. It's just fractioned down. So, number 4, wind is never the same in tour play. So, it's always going to be random. So, you never quite know what you're going to get. So, you have to be ready for everything, essentially saying. So, number 5, there are smaller and bigger targets. Alright guys, tip number 1 here. Here's a breakdown of your target at any size. This picture basically symbolizes the red arrow being your ball guideline and the purple arrows being the line that you would have to adjust to per 1 ring to 2 ring, 3 ring, 4 ring, 5 ring. So the red arrow, from the red arrow to the edge of the yellow ring would be 1. That would be a 1.0 wind adjustment. So this is showing you basically from that red arrow from your ball guideline to the edge of the white ring would be a 5.0 miles per hour wind adjustment if your accuracy was at 100%. So essentially this is basically saying at 100% accuracy on a club, 1.0 wind miles per hour would be 1.0 rings. So 2.0 miles per hour would be 2.0 rings. So you would go to the red ring and further on. So if you're that player that really wants to get dialed in, wants to do your absolute best and get those, perfect decimal numbers of, the accuracy and the level of your club, this is what you need to do right here. You need to go on your Safari or, your internet, whatever you play on, and you need to go to golfclashnotebook.io and do exactly what I'm doing here in this wind chart creator. What it does is at the top, once you go to that website, you can choose a tool. You go over to clubs and you choose the tool for the wind chart creator, and what you do is it'll give you an option to type in, scroll through and type in every single one of your clubs and the level of your clubs. And what this does is it already has a database through the website that has the accuracy and, all the stats for every single club. So it will automatically calculate all of these exact precise numbers for you. So you have to understand as well that, your ball and your ball guideline, that, they have different powered balls. So, whatever ball that you're using is going to have, a different effect on that wind. So, it's going to have a different breakdown. A power 0 ball, just using, a regular ball, say the white ball, as in using a power 5 wind ball. If you had a 10.0 wind, using a power 5 wind ball, it might bring it down to like 1.0 wind, on a power 5 ball, or 2.0 wind, because, it might cut it in half. But basically, you have to know your ball guideline, where your ball guideline is going to go, and account for all of the various things that affect your ball guideline. So the accuracy in your clubs and all that does take a very powerful effect on your target size and how big and small your target is. So as you can see here, I finally have all my clubs up there, and it goes over maximum and, minimum and mid distances. And that's something that you're very well going to have to pay a lot of attention to as well, because, you're going to, say you're using the Thorn, you might have, 82 yards for your Thorn, but you might be at 70 some yards on your shot. So, you might have to use medium distance, or minimum distance. So you have to use different numbers. So I would very well suggest going on to Golf Clash Notebook and making yourself your own wind chart, and, maybe writing that down on a couple pieces of paper, have all of your measurements, for your power 0 ball, and then have another page that has all your measurements for your power 1 ball and your power 2 ball for all your clubs, or take a screenshot and, flip through it or something, and just get that memorized. So, when you're playing, it becomes second nature that, oh, I'm using the Goliath, 1.9 is, to the yellow ring. It's as simple as that. But it's not that simple. So that's why we're going over this. But I hope you guys kind of really got the gist of how to, get those decimals that you want, and, the accuracy of your club, and how, 1.0 is 100 accuracy on a club for wind to ring adjustment. 1.0 wind is 1 ring, and, say at a club that, like the Extra Mile, that's almost to 50%, it's at 45% accuracy there, that, basically 2.0 would be a 1, ring adjustment instead of 1.0, and then a 4.0 would be on the second ring, so, and further on. But I really hope you guys got the gist of, the breakdown and how everything, works as far as your different targets and rings, and everything that I'm going through here, guys. Alright, guys, so we're going to show you a breakdown here of some live feed of, the real wind adjustments itself. So here is a little bit of a riskier hole, but first I'm going to basically describe to you how I make my wind adjustments. I use the take shot button, like the one that's at the bottom of your screen, as a base level line, so I know that, okay, my ball guide is in front of that. If I move my take shot button right to the edge of the red ring or the yellow ring or the blue ring, that if I move my ball guide right to, if the ball guide is right in the middle where I can see 2 of the arrows on, each side, that it's right in the middle of my take shot button, that's perfect
shot.
So I hit perfect here because the red ring was my adjustment. And I hit perfect, and the ball goes
hole in one.
So I just wanted to describe to you guys how I did that. So here's another one that's probably going to be a good judgment of what I was talking about. We have the Sniper level 10 here, Quasar ball, so it's a power 1 ball, so it's, just decimals off of what, a power 0 ball would be. So it's just about exactly our numbers. So our wind is 4.8 here, so that would be 4.8 rings, right? So we're going to move this, our take shot button right to the edge of the white ring there and move it just to that white ring because it's 5.0. And
Perfect
I know
shot.
it's going to move a little bit more to the left. So I shoot it perfect, and she comes in right there.
Hole in one.
Hole in one. Falls in perfect. All right, moving on to this shot here. This was in the tournament, the Extreme Hills tournament. This was actually the shot to clutch my second place trophy, the Albatross here. But we have to pay attention to our terrain and trust our ball guide. I had a little bit of elevation here. As you can see, it's a little bit of a down shot. And it's a little bit of a plateau up to the green, and it comes kind of rolling down. So we have to trust our ball guideline and know that, it's going to bounce high. We have that high arc. So we had a 4.7 wind ring adjustment here. So I moved this one
Perfect
to
shot.
the blue ring because on my thorn, I know that at max distance, 5.6 is my blue ring. And with the elevation that I calculated for on the 4.7, 4.8 wind mile an hour, that would have been about a perfect adjustment for the elevation and for my wind. All right, so this hole here, we have a very good picture here of what exactly I'm trying to talk about. So we're going to go full backspin here off of, our ball guide going right into the hole there, as you can see. And I'm putting that right off that little hill there. And we have a 1.9 wind adjustment, so that's almost 2.0, right to the red ring. So you can see I move that just up to the red ring so that it would go just past the hole and it would blow back.
Perfect shot.
It's going to blow back perfectly to that spot that I put it, and it's going to bounce in there perfectly.
Hole in one.
Lined it up. So that's exactly what we're trying to accomplish here. Okay, guys, so I'd like to put this picture up here just to show you guys how powerful this tool really is. So you can see here we have the sniper at level 10, and our accuracy is at 100. So at 100, we can see at the yellow ring at max distance, 1.0 would be, 1.0 yellow ring per 1.0 mile an hour wind. So that's our wind to ring ratio. So one yellow ring is 1.0 mile an hour. So 2.1 mile an hour is one red ring, or the yellow and the red ring. We move it all the way to the red ring, so we're moving it 2 rings. So here basically I wanted to show you the concept of, basically moving the entire target if you have a higher wind. Say we have a 6.3 miles per hour wind. You would know that over the whole target moving, you're going to acquire small decimals over the yellow and the red and the blue. See how it goes from 1.0 to 2.1 to 3.1. Those 0.1s and 0.1s, see how it adds up to 4.2 and 5.2. Well, that's eventually going to add up to 6.3. So basically that's saying that if we move our ball guide from the yellow to the yellow, that would be 6.3 exactly. And if we move it from the red to the red, that it would be 7.3 miles per hour to move the red target all the way from where your ball guideline is to the red target and then to the red target again. So that's basically a breakdown of, really getting into the numbers and, the exact rings and the ratio of wind that you have to the numbers and how those decimals will increase. And, it might not always be exactly spot on. Like your ball guideline and the terrain, it might show you going right towards the hole. but you might be accounting for a fast green that you might have to put your ball guideline with the sniper just before the hole, so it doesn't roll past or hit the pin too hard, that the green will push it towards the hole enough that it will fall in. But those are things that we're going to have to dial in and really get here. But I want to take this other picture here and show you basically where we're at with a power 0 ball, and then how our numbers change over to a power 3 ball. Okay, so here we have the power 3 ball, which you can see how much it really does change it. So it brings it all the way down. Our numbers actually come down as they go up. Our numbers are lower but going up. We start out with a 1.0, and then it goes to 2.0 exactly. We might gain just a little bit within there, but not enough to push it to 2.1. Then we get to 2.9, still not enough to push it to 3.0. Then we get to 3.9 and 4.9. It definitely shows us a difference in numbers, instead of having a 1.0, a 2.1, a 3.1, a 4.2, a 5.2. Our numbers are much smaller, so it shows you that our target shrinks, and our wind per ratio with a different higher powered ball, our wind actually gets increasingly smaller. So you have to account for those numbers in factoring in your club and your wind. So good luck. Alright guys, so we got one more here for you. Sniper level 10 again, keeping it simple. We have a power 1 quasar ball. We have a 4.4 mile an hour wind. So it tells you we are minus 15% on our wind. So, which basically means that, that's how much our wind has calculated down from what the game has given us. So we have a 4.4, so we have to use our power 1 ball settings as a 4.4, which is right just a little bit beyond that clear ring into the white ring, about halfway into the white, and we pull this one back and hit it perfect
shot.
And it comes in just spot on, right where we lined it, and straight into the hole. I hope you guys can really see, how simple this can be once you learn it, and I really hope you guys get the hang of things. And I also want to thank you guys so much for being here, watching my videos, and supporting us in Team Energy. You guys are awesome, and I appreciate all the things that you guys do, liking my videos, sharing everything, subscribing. It means the world, and we hope to see you out there on the golf course. I really hope this guide helped you guys. If you guys have any more questions or anything, feel free to contact us. We have a Facebook page, Instagram pages, Twitter page, you name it, we got it. So contact us, and we will definitely do our best to help you. I really hope this guide helped you, and good luck out there with your wind adjustments, and hope that you start making more shots. Catch you later, guys.